welcome back to the Ontario Lacrosse Festival. And we're about set for what is typically, Calvin, the largest, most important game here, the Midget Gold Medal Final this year between Team Alberta and Team Ontario. And Calvin, a little bit of a twist this year that Team Ontario is not coming in ranked number one.
Yeah, exactly. Team Alberta finished the round robin portion of the tournament in first place, going undefeated and handing Team Ontario an 8-5 loss. Team Ontario finishing second in the round robin portion of the tournament. And but the two best teams did end up in the gold medal game here this afternoon. It should be a fantastic match.
Looking at the goals against, it was 23 goals against for one of these two teams, 24 goals against for the other. So defense is certainly a huge, huge thing. There you see the records. Team Alberta 7-0, Team Ontario 6-1. As you said, the two best teams here today. I'm sure Team Alberta wants to let everybody know that round robin game wasn't a fluke, and this is a great opportunity for them to get their first gold medal.
Yeah, and talking to some observers of the tournament through the week, saying how fast this Team Alberta is and the outstanding goaltending that they have. As you can see from the statistics there, it'll be interesting to see what they'll be able to do against this unbelievable Ontario offense that scored over 100 goals.
The highlight of the national championship's about to come up. Can Team Alberta do it for their first time, or is Team Ontario going to take home gold? That coming right up. You're watching the Ontario Lacrosse Festival on Rogers TV. We're underway, the gold medal final between Team Ontario in the red and black and Team Alberta in the navy blue. Opening possession goes to Team Alberta, and they will bring their offense into the Ontario zone. Samuel Haynes from Halton Hills is in net for Team Ontario as Alberta works the perimeter, looking to get their first scoring opportunity. Cut through the middle, and there's a shot, and that missed, but not by much. Bounces way up into the rafters, doesn't touch anything. And picking up the loose ball there is Justin Sykes. Sykes will hand it off to David Anderson. Anderson puts it down into the corner. And Team Ontario will get their first offensive possession. Bobbling the ball there, comes back up to Sykes up top. Sykes now looks to make his way to the net. There's a long shot. Caught the shoulder of the starting goaltender for Alberta. That's Jack Bruzzle-Fries. Opana goes cross floor. That shot stopped by Fries as well. Not sure where the ball is, and it's about 6 inches from the goal line. Alberta, sorry, Calvin.
Lots of movement there from the Ontario offense. Lots of ball movement, lots of player movement off ball.
And off the foray up at center, Team Ontario comes up with the loose ball, and they're going to go in on the offense. Busting through. No, a crease violation is called. Possession, Team Alberta.
And Alberta quickly brings the ball up the floor off that disallowed goal.
Bowen will work his way in there. Playstead will take the pass up high and put it down into the corner. Good movement here by Alberta, looking for an opportunity. 7 on the shot clock. Playstead will go right down into the corner with it. Trying to duck and work his way to the net. Now he does, but drops the ball, and good D there by Team Ontario. Calvin, as we said in the intro, a tight game in the round robin. Team Alberta coming out on top. And this looks like it's going to be a close final as well if the first few shifts are any indication.
Yeah, it was an 8-5 Alberta final during the round robin course of the play this week, Gary.
Sykes will take that shot. That went off the helmet of an Alberta player, and he immediately went to the floor. That's going to smart as the Alberta defender will make his way to the...
That seems to be a lot more common these days to have players being hit with shots, it seems. I've seen that so often this year.
And I'll tell you my philosophy on that. Coaches coach a little differently now to overplay the stick. put your body in the way of the stick. So as coaches, we're almost telling the kids to get your head in the way of that shot.
We're certainly seeing a lot of it this year in all levels of lacrosse, right from the little guys right up to the Redmen.
Possession there to Team Ontario off the face-off. And Devin Orpana will bring that in for Ontario. He'll put the ball up high to Tyson Allison. Pass right in front. There's Allison. Oh, what a stop by Freeze.
Excellent shoulder save by Freeze.
And Alberta will come back down the floor on offense. They'll work around the possession inside the Ontario zone. A couple of loose balls there bouncing into the corner, and Ontario looks to come up with that off the turnover, and they do. Well, by all accounts, Calvin, we've heard some reports that this Team Alberta team has been together for a number of these national championships, and there's something to be said here as they came in as the #1 seed, having defeated Team Ontario and winning all other games to advance to this final.
Yeah, Team Alberta went undefeated during the round robin. They had a goal differential, 63 goals for and 23 goals against. Team Ontario 6-1. Their only loss was to Team Alberta, and they scored an unbelievable 101 goals and only 24 goals against. So both teams very stingy defenses that here playing in the gold medal today, and I'm sure we'll see that as the game progresses.
And from a festival perspective, you have to say this is a dream come true when you have a powerhouse that is not Team Ontario, not Team British Columbia, and not Team First Nations.
Yeah, it's certainly, I think, good for the development of the game to see Alberta not only in the gold medal game, which they have been before, but obviously highly competitive this year, as compared to perhaps other years when Team Ontario, just because of population size and everything, has been the predominant favorite, both at the midget and the Pee Wee level.
Power play here to Team Alberta as Team Ontario got called on, I believe, a hold. Smoot up top will set things up. Comes to Plaisted. Plaisted thought about shooting. Now he does. There's a long shot, and that was stopped nicely by Haynes. Ontario will race out of their own end. And will now look to kill some time off of this 2-minute minor. The first power play of the game to either team. And there's 10 on the shot clock. They're going to look to take a shot. That stop was made there by Freeze nicely, but came out at a very weird angle.
Team Ontario with the ball back on that reset, able to kill off another 30 seconds, presumably.
Backhand shot there, missed the net, picked up by Team Alberta, and they're going to try and race the floor. Run into the side boards there and run right to the ground by Sykes. Alberta looks to come up with the loose ball, and here's Ontario busting out of their own end. Matt Wright is going to run the floor, and Wright will turn back. Off the bench is Jonathan Preschko, and Ontario doing a good job of killing this penalty, having spent more time in the offensive zone than that in the defense. Preschko tries to force his way to the net. Now he tries to split a double team. Shot on net there was stopped by Brazil Freeze. Pass goes off a stick right to Gauthier. Gauthier up at center, spilled a bit, but he's back up. 10 on this power play here for Alberta, still with an opportunity to get a shot. Bowen couldn't find it. Now he comes up with it. Bowen goes cross floor. There's a shot that missed the net. That goes up. Look out. Up into the stands and possession back. Team Ontario. Up top is Allison, and Allison is going to try and make his way to the net. There's a shot and a nice arm save there by Freeze. Alberta will rush up the floor. And up at center off the bench now comes Smoot. Pass up high there to Flammenspec. Flammenspec is going to try and make his way to the net. There's a shot, goes off the end boards and into the back of the mesh. And Ontario is going to rush back down the floor once again. Great end-to-end action in this first period. We're almost halfway through. Pass down into the corner, comes back up high. Orpana had a man open momentarily, and now he goes down the middle and pays for that. As Alberta defensively would have no part, and now Alberta will pick it up and break out of their own end. Smith gets up over center, and Bowen will now turn back and hand that to Gauthier. Izzo Jarrett down into the corner with it, 15 on the clock. Playstead will put it cross floor, back in front it comes. Izzo could not control it, and that went off a body in front. Bowen now with it, 4 on the shot clock. And Bowen is just going to turn and launch one in. Calvin, not a lot of opportunities here for either team.
No, it's Team Ontario stifling defense there, making sure that Alberta's shots came from well outside and at poor angles to the net.
Ontario back in the offensive zone, an errant pass goes off to the far boards. And up high it'll come to Allison. Allison with just 4 on the shot clock. That looked like that went off a body. And the shot clock will expire. Possession, Team Alberta.
Team Alberta seems to, I would call it more of an aggressive defense, Gary, putting a lot of pressure on the Ontario players and not hesitant at all to double team or even on occasion triple team the ball.
Cross floor pass, there's a shot, and that was stopped by Haynes, and Haynes comes up with the loose ball. I'll tell you, you look at all the years that the festival's gone on, Calvin, and I'm looking down on the floor here, and I'm seeing a totally different Team Alberta team than what I've been used to seeing. And you had touched on it prior to us going on air, that some of the comments from some of the other teams was that these guys are track stars. They run, and
yeah,
I'm seeing this evidenced in the first period.
We've certainly seen that here in the first period, up and down the floor, both teams, but particularly Alberta transitioning out of their end very quickly, looking to try to take advantage of the line changes for Team Ontario.
Playstead will go down into the corner with it. Power out of the corner, back up high it comes. There's Playstead, shot, stop, rebound. Another shot went off of Haynes and in behind the net. Ontario now with Wright will rush it up to center. And Anderson is going to bring things in for Team O, and now we've got a net off. And that'll be a fresh 30 seconds for Team Ontario. Pass comes in front, but that was out of the reach of the intended target, Curtis Goddard. And Alberta will come out of their own end. Little pressure here from Ontario, but Alberta gets out of that smartly. And Nolan off the bench will bring it in. Hands it to Gauthier. Gauthier makes a move. And now Gauthier will give it to Izzo Jarrett. Good ball movement here. An errant pass, though, however. And Nolan's picked off now by Alberta. They're in alone. Oh, a nice defensive job there by Team Ontario.
Referees are putting their whistles in their pocket.
Well, and again, you can see the intensity is there, Calvin. The sticks aren't riding up here, though. That's discipline on both sides of the floor. Sykes now goes to the net. Sykes takes the shot. Looks like that went off a post. In behind, the Alberta defender draped all over the Ontario player. That's Jack Follows. Pass there intended for Sykes. Sykes takes it off the side boards and runs into his own teammate. 14 on the shot clock. And the Alberta defense, as you said, Calvin, very tight checking.
Excellent positional defense here. They don't go for stick fakes. They play the body. They don't knock anybody down necessarily, but they certainly cover them very well. So Ontario back in on offense.
Allison will bring it in. Coming in late is Goddard. Goddard getting into the middle of the play. There's a shot there from Cordingley, and that was stopped by Brazil Freeze. Alberta quickly down the floor on offense. Coming off the bench late is Nolan. Nolan will take the pass into the corner, right in front. He'll come. There's a couple moves. They score!
Good ball movement. Nice pass to the cutter, cutting in front of the crease. One nice stick fake, and then the quick release into the back of the net.
Well, I'll tell you, Calvin, talked about this earlier in the day as we see the goal on the replay here. Just a nice cut to the net, nice feed, and a nice move. But we talked earlier, one of the Pee Wee finals had on one bench Brett Bucktooth, and forgive me, on the other bench, I can't recall who it was, but just some quality coaching at this level for every one of these provinces. And we got to give credit to the head coach of Alberta, Dane Dobby, who many will recognize the name from the pro level of lacrosse. He is the head coach for Team Alberta, and no doubt has had a huge, huge influence on this group. Yeah. And as we say in the game, he's been there, he's done that, and so he's taken this now to an Alberta group of kids that are learning from one of the guys that knows what it takes.
That's certainly the case, Gary. The other point to know is that sometimes it's a play off ball. Number 23, Roman Smoot, last time set an unbelievable pick to free up that player to come around and shoot and score. You don't always have to have the ball in your stick to contribute to your team.
Absolutely. And those are the things that it's usually the coach or someone on the staff that notice, not always the fans. With Ontario providing a little pressure here, but another shot and another stop by Freeze in behind the net. Ontario comes up with the loose ball. That's Tanner Cole.
Just relentless pressure by the Team Ontario offense here, Gary.
Shot there was stopped by Freeze.
We had talked last time up the floor about Alberta's pressure and positional D. That time they did get a little mixed up a couple of times, and Ontario had some quality scoring chances as a result.
Up high, the pass from Playstead will go cross forward to Nolan. Nolan tried to put it down in the corner, but an errant pass is picked up there by Team Ontario. And Ontario will make it up to center with Bukta picking up the pass. Curtis Bukta will bring it into the zone for Ontario and move the ball. Allison up high will take the pass. Comes to the center of the floor, tried to make a move, but again, nice defense there and another nice stop by Freeze. Alberta will bring it up to center. Playstead off the bench will take the pass. We also heard, Calvin, some comments from both Team Ontario as well as some other coaches in the tournament that the goaltending for Team Alberta was something to have a look at. And
yeah,
we're certainly seeing that so far.
Jack Russell-Freeze has certainly had some outstanding stops so far today. And we're only 16 minutes into the first period.
And as you said, Team Ontario with 104 goals in the tournament. There's no shortage of offense there. In alone, there's a shot and another stop by Freeze. Picked up there by Alberta, and they're going to try and break out of their own end. They've got a breaker down the floor. There's the pass. Little behind, but picking it up nicely. A shot and a goal. They scored. I believe that was Ethan Landamore, number 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Look at this heads-up pass, though, to get the ball up the floor to a streaking Landamore, who, despite having the defender draped all over them, makes the catch, collects himself, and puts the shot in the net.
Let's talk about the catch, though. He put the stick in one hand and reached back to grab that pass, and then had the speed to rush in on net as now Haynes is coming to the bench. He's a little shaken up as Landamore was run. I believe that was the Ontario defender that ran him into the goaltender, but a great transition goal there, and Alberta's now up 2-0.
If he hadn't have scored, it would have been interesting to see if there would have been a checking from behind or similar call.
True.
Because certainly he was, the defender certainly impeded his progress to the net, and in fact pushed him in the goaltender, and Haynes suffering as a result.
.3:18 left here in this first period. Team Alberta has opened up a 2-0 lead here on Team Ontario in this gold medal midget final. And possession called here for Team Ontario. Breaking through, there's a shot, a stop by Freeze, a rebound. Bounced off the end boards, and they're going to battle in behind the net for it. And it looks like that's on the back of the Alberta net. And they'll start things out of their own end.
Frizzle Freeze proficient with the stick as well, controlling that ball as it was loose behind the net.
Up top here, a pass just out of the reach. Only 13 left on the shot clock as well, and Frizzle Freeze now will hand it off to Flammenspec. Right in front of the Ontario bench, one of the Alberta offensive players was felled to the floor. A loose ball picked up there by Ontario. And Alberta right back in on defense. Peshko off the bench will come in on the right side. Anderson will give it to Peshko. Peshko thought about shooting, now he does. Shot wide of the net, and that's going to bounce all the way back down to Haynes with only 1 on the shot clock. And that'll be a turnover to Team Alberta. And Team Ontario, with too many men on the floor, is going to get a penalty. And as they came to the bench, and the coach said, we may as well stay out now. We've got the penalty. Long shot stopped by Haynes, and that'll be a possession.
You can't get 2 penalties for too many men.
Actually, you can. You can. If, and that's what the referee, the coach Dobby is now asking the ref, is that not 2 penalties? If he had come off the floor and left the floor and went back out, yes, you can.
The same player?
The same player. I actually asked an official that one time because, well, it wasn't me, but there was a bench that had too many men on the floor. And that was one of those questions I thought about later. What happened if the guy did come off and they got sent back out? Yes, you can get 2 calls. Therefore, never open the door if the player goes to come off.
He stepped in the change box, but he did not leave the floor.
Under a minute left here in Alberta on a power play in tight. There's a shot that goes up into the mesh behind Haynes. And possession back to Ontario. They're still looking for their first goal of the game. We've seen it a few times today. Maybe a shorthander might be in order here for Team Ontario. As Goddard will put that down into the corner, and they'll work a 4-on-5 here to Sykes. Sykes with 10 on the shot clock, 32 in the first period. Sykes comes off the corner. That shot missed the net and picked up there by Alberta. Plasted will come out, Plaisted will come out and take possession. Bouncing ball there, rolls into Haynes, and with only 5 seconds left here, long shot down the floor is going to go right into the web behind Brazil. Freeze, and an interesting first 20 minutes of play. Some opportunities for both teams. And Alberta with the only 2 goals of the period. Let's check those out on our first period highlights. As we see, as we talked about, Calvin Brazil, Freeze has stood very tall in the net. There was the shot that went off the defender helmet for Team Alberta. A number of chances for Team Ontario, but unable as yet to solve the goaltending of Brazil Freeze. And here we see the first goal of the game, as you said there, Calvin. Beautiful pick there by Smoot. And it's always those things that you don't always see, but you catch later on film. That was the 1-0 goal. Here's the long pass, reaching back with one arm, and then Landamore scoring the goal, getting run into the crease afterwards. And that's where we stand right now, 2-0 Alberta after 1 period of play. We're going to head out for a break. You're watching the Ontario Lacrosse Festival on Rogers TV. Well, there you see Jack Brazell Freeze from Calgary, Alberta. And Calvin, we touched on it a little earlier. We were told that this guy is something special in between the pipes. And after 20 minutes, we've seen exactly that as his Team Alberta hold a 2-0 lead here in this gold medal final against Team Ontario.
Yeah, the Team Alberta defense backstop by Jack Brazell Freeze certainly has taken everything that Ontario can throw at them in the first period.
And off the opening face-off of the second period, Team Alberta will come out with the power play still for another 40 seconds. And an opportunity to open up a 3-goal lead here as Playstead will start things out. For Alberta, he'll play catch up top. Thought about shooting, now he goes in behind. Playstead comes out, oh, they tried to hit him with the pass, but it's intercepted, and now Ontario's right is going to race back down the floor, but look at that, 4 Alberta defenders back there with him.
Yeah, excellent hustle to the bench by the Alberta offensive players to get their defensive specialists out on this 5-on-4 in favor of Team Alberta.
Anderson now will twist off his check. We're back to 5 aside. Anderson walks in, a nice arm save there by Brazell Freeze.
And a quick loose ball by Team Alberta, and quickly advancing it up to the floor in less than 6 seconds.
Oh. I'm going to say I probably would have fainted if I saw some of these training camps for Team Alberta if it was all about run, run, run. Pass in front, there's a shot by Smoot. Oh, a nice stop there by Haynes as Smoot ducked in behind and was all by himself.
Good positioning by Haynes.
Onto the floor, right in front, shot, score!
Sykes.
Justin Sykes had a step, got the ball, and a quick stick. And like that, it's a 1-goal game.
See textbook ball movement there by Team Ontario. Nice crisp little passes to the cutter going to the net. It's a recipe for success.
So let's see what that does for both teams. Landemore takes the pass. He's going to go to the net once again. Landemore turned back. Smartly decided to hold on to possession and bring it back up to his teammates off the bench. Alberta back to 5 aside here, looking across floor. There's Smith. Tried to hit a man breaking, but Ontario breaks out of their own end. They're going to have 1 and 2, but an errant pass will go right in. Oh, right in front of loose ball. Goes to Sykes, scores! That was a tough one as Brazell Freeze tried to play that loose ball. Lost it momentarily, and Sykes was Johnny on the spot.
It was an errant pass by Team Ontario that just wasn't handled quite right by Brazell Freeze, and Sykes was Johnny on the spot, certainly in the right place at the right time, picked that up and made no mistake of putting it behind Brazell Freeze.
And off the face-off, Ontario will come up with the loose ball. Cross floor it'll go, and it'll come here near side to Anderson. Anderson now working with Dutka. Off that, the shot goes off the end glass. Loose ball picked up, still 10 on the shot clock for Ontario. Cross floor pass was picked off in the crease, and now Brazell Freeze will start things out for Alberta. They need to settle things down a bit here and look to get back onto their offense. Pass cross floor goes to Playstead. Playstead working there with Smoot. Come near side to Gauthier, and Gauthier now he's got Smoot going to the net. Goes across to Playstead. There's a shot. Ooh, that one off the post and out of play. Possession back to Alberta.
That was a great shot with the shot clock expiring, rung off the post into the stands.
Bowen smartly dished that off and got to the bench as his helmet strap came undone. Playstead thought about shooting. Now he backs into the corner. Smoot takes the backhand pass. Oh, a nice stop there. Arm shot by Haynes.
Textbook pick and roll there by Team Alberta.
A loose ball comes to Ontario, and they'll race back down the floor. 5 minutes in, second period. And Ontario with 2 has tied the game. Ontario now works the pick and roll. There's a shot off the crossbar. Another beauty pick and roll at the other end. Cascanet will pull it off the near side boards and go cross floor with it. Pass in front. Cascanet couldn't control it. However, up high, there's a shot, score! Jonathan Pesto from up high. And Ontario with 3 has now taken the lead.
Double pick set here for Peshko, who took advantage of it. Come around top and 10 feet out ahead of the dotted line, buried the ball.
That's tough for a goalie with all of those bodies in front of him to pick up that shot. And off the face-off, Ontario again comes up with possession, and Wright will hand that off, and 2 Ontario defenders will make their way.
Seems to be a shift in the face-off wins lately. Alberta had most of the wins early in the game, and now it seems that Team Ontario has been successful the last couple of face-offs.
Up high, that's going to come to Sykes. Sykes trying to make his way to the net, bounces off a couple of checks, and it rolls right into Purcell Freeze. Izzo Jarrett will pick it up and bring it into the Ontario zone. He'll hand that off to Landamore. Landamore couldn't control it as the ball was down around his feet. Battling the end boards, Izzo Jarrett with it right in front. Oh, the pass just didn't connect. Olin in the corner with it. Just 3 on the shot clock, and he's just going to backpedal that into the corner. And possession here to Ontario. They'll bring it out of their own end. Kurtz will bring it in for Team Ontario and put it up high to Opana. Opana gives it to our latest goal scorer. There's another opportunity and a shot. Stopped there by Freeze. Barrett pass there, and Ontario's going to scoop up the loose ball and bring it in. 2-on-1 right in front they are. There's a shot and a stop by Brizzle Freeze. They'll battle for it into the end boards, and Ontario comes up with the loose ball. Good job there by Matt Wright. Nice pick and roll once again. Another shot goes off the post. Reed Kurtz took that opportunity.
Matt Wright has had a great game for Team Ontario so far in this game. He's primarily a defensive player. Lots of loose balls, lots of hard work.
Pass right in front, goes off of a body and a stick and rolls right into Freeze, and he'll start things out. Alberta now trailing by 1. And Playstead will start things out here for Alberta. Go cross floor to Gauthier. Down in the corner it goes. Playstead up high will call for it. In the corner he'll go to Smoot. Smoot comes across the top. He'll wind down, take that shot, and just missed. Ontario quickly back down the floor, but 3, 4, and all 5 defenders for Alberta right back into the zone. Anderson off the bench will take it. There's a shot. That's stopped into the corner, picked up by Ontario. Up high, Allison will put it into the corner, and there's a shot. That one off nothing, and it rolls all the way back down. Lots of time on the shot clock, however. And Haynes will send away Allison. Long shot there, caught in the face mask to freeze, and that'll be a possession to Alberta. Up the floor, it'll go to Landemore. Landemore with the C for Team Alberta from Okotoks. Cross floor pass goes to Bowen. Bowen goes far side, and it comes right back to McFadden. Izzo Jarrett there will work with Landemore. Izzo Jarrett looks into the center. Now he tries to duck underneath. That shot was stopped by Haynes.
Good positioning there by the Ontario defense, forcing the Alberta player to take an outside route down towards the crease and forcing him into a bad angle shot.
Ontario will bring it in there with Goddard. Down in the corner with only 9 on the shot clock. Peshko now will set the screen up high. Cross floor pass. Walking into the net. There's Kurtz. Oh, nice stop by Freeze. Kurtz made his mind up. He was going to the net, and he wasn't being stopped. And there's another opportunity. Oh, nice pick off there, though, for Alberta. Now they've got 2 breakers down the floor. They've got a 2-on-1 here if they can handle it. There's a shot. Oh, rung off the post. And just like that, down the other way goes Ontario.
There we see more of the transition style play from Team Alberta, Gary. Another great scoring chance, just rung it off the post.
And I was just thinking to myself, we didn't see that a couple of years ago. Trying to duck underneath there with the shot. Freeze made the save, and possession back to Alberta. Up at center, they'll come out and give it to Playstead. 8.5 left here, second period. Team Ontario with 3 straight, and they now lead 3-2. Cross floor, there's a shot that caught the face mask of Haynes, and that'll be a possession back to Ontario.
In minor lacrosse, when the ball hits the goaltender's mask, it's a change of possession. Those folks who are used to seeing major series or junior, that rule does not exist in those leagues.
Cross floor pass will come to Cordingley. Cordingley goes up high with it, right in tight. There's a shot. Oh, a crease violation. As Peshko, who's already scored 1 this period, had an opportunity. Izzo Jarrett will bring it in for the Alberta team, and the referee just blew the whistle. He's going to give both goaltenders the opportunity here to get themselves a drink.
I think there's an equipment problem with the Ontario goaltender after that last shot.
Okay. Well, we may as well take the opportunity, if we can, to give the goalies a drink. So, Calvin, you had some stats on this week about the festival, just to give the folks out there the magnitude of what's gone on this week with the number of teams and the number of games and championships.
Yeah, so today's Pee Wee and Midget Canadian Championships are really the culmination of a whole 10 days of activity here at Iroquois Park. Over 522 teams, over 10,000 athletes, over 1,000 games during the course of the Ontario Lacrosse Festival, which of course includes the Pee Wee and Midget Nationals, but also all of the OLA championships from tyke right through to intermediate, with the exception of the A divisions. Also, the girls box lacrosse programs have their championships here as well. And this year, also the girls field lacrosse championships in the U11, U13, U15, U19, and senior categories were played during the week as well. So lots of lacrosse here in Whitby at the Ontario Lacrosse Festival, ending up here on Saturday with the national games, and then the last 2 Ontario championships will be given out tomorrow afternoon.
So hats off once again. We say this every year, but this doesn't happen because of 1 or 2 people. This happens because of a slew of volunteers. Alberta now looking to tie this game, trailing by 1. After 3 goals in this period from Team Ontario. Landemore in behind the net. And there's only 2 on the shot clock. He's going to just deposit that behind the net as Team Ontario has stepped up the defense this period.
And you had mentioned volunteers at the festival, Gary. It's worth to note that many of those volunteers are from out of town.
Yes.
They'll take vacation and stay here through the course of the week, volunteering for the kids.
And that, my friends, is a volunteer to take your own vacation and use that to come here. That's the love of the game for sure. Off the bench, Smoot will take the pass and put it across to Playstead. 6.5 left here, second period. Gauthier with it down in the corner, and Smoot now will take the pass and give it back to Playstead. Alberta needs to get something generated on the inside, Calvin. I've noticed the last couple possessions they're taking the outside shot, but I don't see anybody willing to, as Kurtz did a couple shifts ago for Ontario, just decide to drive that net, create some opportunities for either themselves or their team.
I think Playstead and Smoot are looking to set up the pick and roll on the right side. We'll watch for that the remainder of this period and into the third.
Cascanet with it now, goes to the net. That shot, though, was just wide, and that bounces off the side boards. Sykes, who's scored twice this period. And that's an interference call, and now Sykes mixing it up with one of the Alberta defenders as Alberta races the floor. Izzo Jarrett had to reach back to get that pass, and he'll hand it off to Landemore. Smoot back out there, and there's a long shot from Playstead. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass, as he had Landemore behind the net. Oh, that shot was up into the mesh, and that'll be a possession back, Ontario. Anderson off the bench will bring it in for Ontario. Well, we haven't seen any lack of intensity, but a little less speed in this period, you might say, Calvin. Increased violation, possession, Alberta.
Yeah, perhaps a little more methodical type of play, particularly from Team Ontario, seeming willing to use the shot clock to their advantage. Alberta still, it seems, likes to take advantage of the transition.
Bowen deciding to take matters into his own hands, tried to rush the net. And the turnover there for Team Ontario. Harrison off the bench will take it for Ontario. And he'll hand that off to Opana. Opana put the pass near side, and accordingly goes cross floor. There's Harrison again, twisting and turning, coming up high. He's got an opportunity. There's a shot, missed the net. 2 on the shot clock, and a glove is on the floor. I'm not quite sure whose glove that is. Oh, a defender for Alberta. And possession back to Alberta.
Teams have to play to their strength, too, and Ontario is so deep, both offensively and defensively, where Alberta seems to be wanting to take advantage of those transition opportunities and quite willing to go to the net whenever they have the opportunity in transition.
Shot off the end boards missed, but Alberta in there on the loose ball with just 4 on the shot clock. And that was Playstead. As Ontario will bring it back into the offensive zone, down to 3:20 left here in the second period, and a good one for Ontario as they've scored 3. Allison now has got Sykes, but Allison now twisting to the middle. Shot goes right into the goal stick. And Alberta's going to break out of their own end with Landemore. Landemore's got Gauthier off the bench. He's got McFadden. McFadden looking to make his way to the end. Oh, a nice stick check there. Nice defensive play there by David Anderson.
Good recovery from Team Ontario to catch up to that play. and to make the last-minute stick check to thwart the shot on goal.
Reed Kurtz will bring it in for Ontario. Up high, he'll go with it to Opana. Accordingly calling for it, but now rushing the net. There's a shot from Sykes and a stop by Brazel Freeze. Alberta now looking to get out of their own end. Landamore will bring it to center. .15 on the shot clock here as Bowen twists and turns. He goes across to Playstead. He'll put it down into Smoot. Smoot walks in front, takes the shot. That was wide of the net. Smoot had a lane there, but took the shot off the bench. Ooh, cool. Couldn't corral that pass. It bounces up high, and Ontario comes up with the loose ball with Bukta. Down into the corner it'll go, and Ontario here looking to add to their 1-goal lead. Allison there on a nice pick. There's a shot. Oh, a nice arm save by Freeze. Bukta down in the corner. Quick stick, shot, and Freeze right there to make the save.
Quickly coming over the right post to close that gap there. Excellent footwork by Brazel Freeze.
Alberta now with 1:12 left here in this second period. Nothing would make them more motivated than to score to tie this game at the end of the second. As Smith tried to put it down into the corner, but it's picked off, and here's a break for Ontario. Wright has got Anderson off the bench. He hits him with it. Anderson making his way to the middle of the floor. Ooh, 2 defenders, and that shot goes up into the mesh. And Anderson got lucky there as the referee watched him put a player to the floor. No call.
Whistles in the pocket.
McFadden puts it down into the corner. Just 30 left in this second period. Playstead with it. Thought about shooting. Now he backs off. Cross floor, he'll go with it. Bowen took a shot off a leg. And quickly back to the bench goes the Alberta offense. Just 12 seconds left here in this second period. Opana's going to try and make his way. The shot. And Opana ran the net right into the end boards. And that's the way the second period is going to end. It was all Team Ontario early, scoring 3 quick goals. And they've gone up with a 3-2 lead after 40 minutes. Let's check out these highlights, Calvin.
It was all Team Ontario in the second period, Gary. We'll see Sykes with the first of his 2 goals on the period. Just mishandled that ball there, and Sykes was in the right place at the right time.
This one by Pashko was a beautiful shot. Labeled to the top corner. That second goal was a tough one. I know the goaltender is going to feel awful about that one, but that was it as both defenses tightened up. We talked about this earlier, Calvin. 3-2 after 2 periods. That's not a typical lacrosse score. And both these 2 goaltenders and both these 2 defenses have shown that they're committed to the defensive zone. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with third period action. You're watching the Ontario Lacrosse Festival on Rogers TV. So there you see the score. Team Ontario with a 3-goal second period to take a 3-2 lead into this third and what may be, not necessarily, the final period of this game. And we're mere seconds away from the start of period 3. There you see Team Alberta in the navy blue, Team Ontario in the red and black jerseys.
I think this game's certainly living up to expectations for a gold medal contest, Gary. Wrapping up the week's play here at the Midget Championships of Canada. Your comment about the defenses rising to the occasion. Certainly, both defenses were by far the best in the tournament, and Alberta has done a great job in shutting down Ontario's potent offense, limiting them to only 3 goals after 40 minutes of play. From an Alberta perspective, I think they'd like to get some more sustained scoring opportunities here in the third period in this 20-minute running time period.
Possession here to Alberta to start the third period. And Plaisted will start things out, giving it off to Landemore. Landemore goes cross floor with it. And we're 5 aside here as penalties did not really appear to be a factor in that second period much at all. There's a long shot. And for a second there, Haynes didn't know where it was. It was in his leg pad. Accordingly, we'll bring it in for Team Ontario. And he'll work his way out of the corner, come cross floor with it. Sykes goes cross floor once more, and another shot stopped there by Freeze. Coming out of the corner, there's another shot off the crossbar. And that's going to bounce all the way back down the floor to Haynes, and Haynes will hand off to Sykes, who has scored twice in this game. Sykes now decides to take it to the net, turns off, and a crease violation was called there. Plaisted off the bench quickly, but his teammates didn't see him. Poland off the bench will take the pass, and he'll settle up high. Izzo Jarrett with it will go down into the corner. Strong right side here for Alberta. They don't do that very often throughout the game, and now Ontario is going to intercept and break back down the floor. Nice job there as Izzo Jarrett. I think Alberta's got too many men on the floor here, but not caught. No harm, no foul. Izzo Jarrett was rushing hard to the bench and saw the loose ball, decided to turn back for it, but the defender had already gone out.
Got away with one there.
Yes, sir.
For about 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah. Allison drives it at. He had a stick up around the ears, and that is going to prompt the call from the referee. And we haven't seen too many of these. Here you see the replay here. He had a step, and there you see the arm up around the ears. And Ontario, leading by 1, is going to have an opportunity to add to that lead. Reed Kurtz will start things out here for Ontario. And Sykes will set the screen in the middle. Kurtz goes cross crease. There's a shot. And that got the reset. Alberta dangerously here as Landemore placed that off the bench. Landemore hands it to him. There he is, and alone. Oh, what a stop by Haynes. That's the transition you talked about, Calvin.
All starts with picking up the loose ball clean in their end and bringing the ball up with vision to see your teammates streaking from the bench.
And Landemore sold that too, right until the last second. He made it look as though he was going to the net. Kurtz. There's a shot, goes up into the rafters, and that'll be a possession back to Alberta. Smoot is up at center. Couple of moves there, and it'll go to Gauthier. Gauthier now is going to take it down low. He'll get Bowen on the left side to join him.
Good penalty killing here by Gauthier.
10 on the shot clock. Now Smoot's going to go to the net, get the pass. Shot, oh, he rung one off the post. A nice job there of the loose ball back to Alberta as Smoot sets the pick there for Plaisted. And Bowen up high will take the pass. That was perfectly executed, and then only an iron away from a tie game. Placestead now is going to take the shot, and that was stopped there by Haynes. And a good job there by Alberta, as Ontario now only 10 seconds left on this power play.
Alberta able to effectively run off almost 60 seconds there.
Allison will bring it in as the Alberta players back out onto the floor. We're even at 5 aside. Peshko down in the corner. He's got Allison up high. He looked down low. There's a shot. Oh, right into the goal stick of Freeze.
Great stick save by Freeze.
Bowen back out there, and he'll take the pass. Long shot there. Missed the net. Comes right back. Oh, a slight delay there, and then two players rush down the floor for it. The Alberta player falls. Ontario picks it up right in front. The shot and a crease violation. Alberta will bring it up over center. Gauthier will hand it off to Holland. Izzo Jarrett up high is calling for it, and now he'll get it. Right in front, there's Landamore, a couple of moves. Oh, didn't take the shot, comes out high. There's Izzo Jarrett with the shot, and that goes off a body and possession off of a shot clock violation to Team Ontario. Opana will bring it in for Ontario. He'll bring it up high and go cross forward with it to Kurtz. Kurtz thought about shooting. Now he passes it on the far side. Wind up. There's a shot and another stop by Freeze. A little pressure there from Opana. Knocking the Alberta defender to the floor, and he's going to make his way to the bench as Gauthier picks it up.
18 seconds left on the shot clock.
Good job there by Opana to use up some of that clock. Smoot now with it. Smoot will hand it off to Placestead. Placestead and Smoot just set a pick that put the stick right up into the defender's grill. Ontario possession going the other way. I'm sensing the calm before the storm here, Calvin. Something's got to give. Allison with it will go cross floor with it. There's a wind up and a shot and another stop by Freeze as he took that one up high, and now Alberta's going to break out of their own end. There's a move and going in alone. There's a shot. Oh, and a crease violation. Cascadet will bring it in for Ontario. He's got Peshko on the right side with him, as well as Budka. Cross floor pass and a shot. That sounded like it rang off the post. That'll be a reset and a new 30.
The Alberta defender was draped all over the shooter, but still a quality scoring chance. Ringing soundly off the post, bouncing all the way down to the other end.
Reed Kurtz, who's had a solid game for Team Ontario, now takes the shot, and there's another save by Freeze, and it's going to bounce out in front of Freeze. Up into the air it goes. Loose ball, and Team Ontario comes up with it. Peshko goes down into the corner with it. It comes up high to Harrison. Good ball movement here by Ontario. There's a long shot and another stop by Freeze.
Team Ontario seems to be content lately to take outside shots, trying to set up their offense. It seems to be focusing exclusively on those high picks.
Izzo Jarrett with it will go down into the corner to Placestead. We're at 11:20 left here, third period. No scoring. And there's a shot off the end boards and rang into the back of the net. We had 2 in the first belonging to Alberta. We had 3 in the second belonging to Ontario. And so far, nothing here in the third, but some solid defense and some solid goaltending. Sykes will bring it to the center of the floor. He'll hand it off to Allison. Allison takes the shot, and again, Giselle Freeze right there. to stop that opportunity. Up at center, there's a long, high suicide pass, as we call it. That thing hung up way, way too long. Ontario now with the turnover will get some fresh troops out on the floor, and Goddard will backpedal into the zone. Stepping back, cross floor pass. There's a shot. Oh, and a nice save there by Freeze. Ontario with an offensive rebound once again. Good defense there by Alberta, as now Kurtz ducks underneath, takes the shot. Oh, and that doesn't look like it caught anything, any part of the goaltender. No reset, still possession back to Ontario. Cross floor it goes. There's a high shot up into the mesh, and possession back to Alberta. Gauthier fresh off the bench. Here comes Holland to join him on the left side. Smoot and Playstead on the right side. And Landemore. Playstead up high will take the pass. He'll work there with Smoot. Up high, Playstead calling for it. There's a long shot. Score! Well, that might have been the break that they were looking for. And I'll tell you again, Calvin, watch this on the replay. Smoot plays an extremely large role here, as he's just occupying two defenders. And that allowed Playstead to take the pass.
Well, I tell you, out of the 3 Alberta goals, Smoot doesn't have an assist. But I tell you, without him, Playstead would not have scored those 2 goals. Yeah. That kid's done a lot of work on the offensive end of the floor without the ball in the stick.
And right off the face-off, they're back in again. Oh, and another opportunity, and that just went wide of the net. Ontario picks up the loose ball, and this is the thing, in a game like this, these goals are so hard to come by. And we're all locked up here at 3. Long shot there was stopped by Freeze. And a outlet pass out of the zone. Here comes Alberta. Bowen down in the corner calling for it, but that pass was a little too tall for him.
Just a little sloppy there.
Into the corner it'll go, and that's up Peshko. It is Peshko trying to force his way to the net. He'll come up high with it to Sykes. Justin Sykes from Oakville, Ontario. Thought about shooting, now he goes in front with it. There's a shot and a reset. Loose ball, possession, Ontario. Kurtz with it, Kurtz trying to duck underneath, and he's going to get run right into. Oh, a possession call there as a crease violation called. I think that was a good call, Calvin.
That was a good call.
As Sykes didn't necessarily interfere with the goaltender, but he certainly took him out of the play. Holland with it. Holland will bring it back up high to Smith. Smith gives it across to Playstead. Playstead will go far side, and now they'll look to set up there. Long shot, score! Second time a long shot from outside. And I'm not sure, there might have been a screen there.
This was from way outside. From the old, from 15 feet outside the dotted line.
And that's going to give both goaltenders an opportunity to come to the bench for a drink.
6:54 left.
Haynes may have been handcuffed on that one. And that's just fired up. Look down at the Alberta bench now, and they are on fire. And of course, looking across at their fans on the other side of the arena here, it's fired them up as well. And here comes Ontario right back into the zone. Oh, what an arm save. That might have been a hand save by Freeze.
Great opportunity by Ontario, but a fantastic save by Frizzle Freeze.
Goddard with it will come up high. Allison now ducking underneath, dropped the ball, picked it up, dropped it again, and now Alberta comes up with it. little bit of pressure being applied there by Alberta. Oh, Izzo Jarrett was looking back, but that was picked off. Nice job there, though, Izzo Jarrett. Excellent defensive play.
Excellent hustle coming back from the offensive end of the floor to catch that mistake and make up for it and strip the Ontario player.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about that later. It's one of those small things within the game. Smoot now comes off the sideboards. He looks like he's got a head of steam. Well, he tried to put the pass down in low, and Smoot put that one up into the mesh to the right of Haynes, and now Ontario trailing by one with 5:40 left here in this third period. Pass in front. And up high it'll come. There's a shot. Another save by Freeze. Ontario player coming to the bench as his helmet came undone. A fresh 30 here for Team Ontario. Accordingly, we'll go cross floor with it. Picked off, and this might be a break for Alberta. It is. Sykes now hustling back. Good job defensively there by Sykes. And that should have been a penalty by the rule book.
That's clearly a penalty. The kid was on the floor, cross-checked while he was on the floor. That was a 2-minute penalty.
Possession called to Alberta, though, and Playstead will take the pass and go cross floor with it to Gauthier. Playstead goes cross floor once again with it. Power gets felled to the ground. 9 on the shot clock. Up high, it'll come to Playstead. There's a long shot. Score! Kyle Playstead.
He's having a game.
Has put Alberta up by 2 here with 4:33 left here in this third period. And here it is on the replay once again. He gets the ball. Here's Alberta again in on a 2-on-1. And Playstead right back out there. Coach Dobby playing the hot hand and get that kid on the floor. Bowen with it. Bowen will work his magic. He makes his way to the net. There's a shot. Ooh, that bounce missed by not much, but went up into the rafters, and Team Ontario. And with 4:03, Timo is calling the goalie to the bench here with a down by 2. Oops, up high with it. Shot there goes off the end boards, and Alberta will come up with the loose ball, and smartly they'll slow things down here. Smoot with it will go down into the corner to Izzo Jarrett. Smoot rushing in there to set a pick. Izzo Jarrett goes cross floor with it to Gauthier. And Izzo Jarrett now, that was intended for him, I believe, right in front of him. Errant pass, but over into the far boards. 2 on the shot clock. And 1, and that'll be a possession back to Ontario. 3:07, Calvin. And Haynes is going to make his way back to the bench once again.
6-on-5 for Team Ontario once again.
Gupta couldn't control the pass, and he'll rush over to the Alberta bench to pick that up. 18 on the shot clock for Ontario. Down in the corner it goes. Up high, it's going to come to Sykes. There's Sykes' shot. Rolls right into the stick. And Sykes just laid out a defender. I'm not sure what the referees are looking at here.
No whistles.
And Power now. Power gets it knocked out of his stick, and a turnover there as Wright will come up with the loose ball. We got a broken stick on the floor. Hoping the referee sees that. He does, and he'll pick that up out of harm's way.
2:21. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Up high, there's a shot from Sykes. That might have went off a body and is bouncing all the way back down the floor. Just 5 on the shot clock here, and Ontario will launch that down the floor. In alone there was Pacho. A nice defensive play there by Alberta. And that, that pass. We're seeing a little bit of sloppy play here from both teams, Calvin, with 1:47 left here in the third period. Ontario with the goaltender on the bench once again, going 6-on-5. 20 on the shot clock, score! Curtis Goddard found himself all alone in front of the net. And this ain't over just yet.
He found that seam on the top of the crease, got behind the Alberta defenders. The previous trip down the floor, Alberta did an unbelievable job of plugging that area in front of the net, not allowing any Ontario defender to stand with their 2 feet under them. But that time, Goddard slipped those checks, found a spot, his teammates found him with the ball, and he put it in the back of the net.
A very important face-off here. And another win by Kurtz will give possession back to Team Ontario, and it looks like a timeout has been called. Well, after our bronze medal final, we've asked, will that be topped? I would say that this, for various different reasons, has been just as exciting.
Oh, absolutely. It's, you know, both teams, it's kind of been a tale of 3 games, really. Alberta owned the first period, Ontario owned the second. And until the last minute and a half, Alberta was firmly in control of this third period. But Ontario's not going down without a fight, making it close here with a minute and a half left to go, trailing by 1.
Well, and judging by the records of these two teams this week, you wouldn't have expected either one to roll over at any point.
Yeah, Alberta wanting to prove, I suspect, that their victory over Team Ontario in the round robin wasn't a fluke.
Exactly.
And they've certainly been full measure to this point in time today. Goaltender on the bench for Team Ontario, 6 attackers on the floor. Minute and a half left to go.
And Jonathan Peshko is going to start things out here for Ontario. 1:30 left here in the game. He'll put the pass down into the corner, and Ontario will move the ball around the outside. That shot was off the end board. Still 16 left in the 30-second shot clock, but a turnover there. And Team Alberta comes up with the loose ball. A nice outlet pass. And a timeout called by Alberta with 1:05. I got to see who that is on the Alberta team. It looks like Kyle Dzwinka of Edmonton. I'm not sure if we'll catch that on a replay or not, but excellent outlet as the pressure was coming from 2 Team Ontario players to the Alberta player down in the corner. And I hope I got his name right. Mr. Dzwinka made himself available, as we say, to release that pressure and get the ball up to center, where Alberta has called a timeout.
Clearly Alberta wanting to get themselves established. There was Ontario putting some pressure on that outlet, but Alberta able to break it and getting set here. It'll be interesting to see how much time they put on the shot clock. There's probably about 6 to 8 seconds ticked away, I would suggest.
No, actually, I wasn't sure that it was that much. I'm not quite sure. That was about 3. So Landemore is going to take this around behind his own net. And he's going to stand there. And now Landemore will circle the net. Catch me if you can. I'm not quite sure that I would keep going around like that, because all it's going to take is one fall, one spill, and one drop of the ball. 5 on the shot clock, and Landemore is going to launch that down into the end boards, into the mesh. And they're going to play one possession here. Team Ontario now with 36 left in the game. 6-on-5. Goaltender out. Trailing by 1. Kurtz with the long shot goes right into the big goal stick of Brazil Freeze. And possession here to Alberta.
Alberta's pulling their goalie, Gary.
Oh, they've got a penalty, a delayed penalty here coming to Team Ontario. So the goaltender has come out of the bench. 8 seconds left here in the game, and I don't know if you believe in the unbelievable, but for the first time in these national championships, Team Alberta is your gold medal champions.
5-4. Team Alberta takes home the gold.
And you see a very dejected Team Ontario squad. All of them on the bench hanging their heads, but I'll tell you, what a huge game for both teams. But I'll tell you, the province of Alberta is going to be rocking tonight as it relates to the lacrosse folks.
I suspect Durham College will be too.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to head away for a quick break. We'll come back for some third period highlights. You're watching the Ontario Lacrosse Festival on Rogers TV. Well, Calvin, you said it prior to the game that, or during the game, excuse me, that Team Alberta wanted to prove that this was no fluke in the round robin, and they did exactly that here tonight. They're going home with a gold medal.
Yeah, Team Alberta had the 8-5 victory during the round robin, and full measure tonight here in the gold medal final, 5-4 over Team Ontario in a somewhat of a tale of 3 games. All Alberta in the first period, Ontario the second, then Alberta come back, swing some momentum in the third period.
And then at late, Ontario comes back to make it real close, but just couldn't finish the job. We got some third period highlights here. We'll talk about the game, though, throughout. I mean, we heard coming in that the goaltending for Alberta was phenomenal. Jack Brazil Freeze was nothing short of miraculous. We heard, excuse me, that Alberta was a running team, that they were here this year, and they've learned a lot in the past seasons. And sure enough, I mean, they've got the skill now, they've got the incredible goaltending, but they also had some legs, and it showed. And some
outside shooting capability as well, as their goals seem to be either on the fast break or from outside the dotted line. Team Ontario, to me, was the better team offensively in a set 5-on-5, but Alberta certainly took advantage of their chances and capitalized when they had them.
There's the goal that made it close, and there's the final buzzer. Look at the jubilation on those kids. And as I said, I think the province of Alberta, as it relates to lacrosse anyways, is going to be on a high for a few weeks now.
Well, it's certainly, nationally, Gary, it's certainly good for the growth of the game across the country. Some of the other provinces here, certainly, I suspect, cheering for Alberta. It's been a long time since Ontario hasn't won the gold medal, and it certainly is good for growth in Alberta, but the other provinces as well, showing that certainly you can improve your game over the course of time and compete with the big powers.
Well, and that's, I think, the goal here, right? When you come here and you take the beatings from the better teams, so to speak, what do you do with it, right? You go back to your province, you learn from it, and you progress. And that's exactly what Alberta's done here. That's going to wrap it up here. Our congratulations for the first time, to my knowledge anyway, the first time Alberta winning a gold medal here at the Midget National Championships. Our congratulations, and on behalf of everybody here from Rogers, along with Calvin Curtis and Rob Diamond earlier today, and our amazing camera crew and everyone in the truck. Gary Marks signing off from the Ontario Lacrosse Festival on Rogers TV.